Okay, we'll start because few people have joined when we are going for any off topic and any disturbance. I don't want to have any disturbance. So we'll start the class now. It's already 4 minutes beyond schedule. So I again appeal to you not to disturb the class and tell your parents not to disturb you also. And what I'm telling is, apart from the dimensional tolerance, we have the geometrical tolerance is also very important. And apart from that, in the drawings, you might have seen some inverted triangles that I'll try to explain you later. So we have to maintain that particular surface texture or surface roughness because the demands of the customer are growing day by day. We can say precise demands of the modern engineering products. So we want to have the precision products from the customer wants. Apart from the geometrical tolerance, dimensional tolerance, they also want the surface roughness maintained properly. So, and this you may be knowing why this surface roughness is of very primary importance. That we'll try to discuss later, but okay, in a few minutes, and it will influencing the functioning of the machine parts. Suppose the surface roughness is not good between the mating components, for example, between the shaft and the bush. So there may be wear and tear between the between the mating components, and the friction will increase, and you have to replace the shaft or the bush in a smaller period of time. That's why it is very important. So, what are the properties that are influenced by the surface structure? Already I told you. One is the this friction. The other one is appearance. Suppose you see appearance. Suppose you are buying a cloth. The appearance may be good. You try to check it whether it is a polyester or a cloth or a linen cloth or a cotton one or any other product. So like that, not by mere appearance, you can just touch it and try to know how the fine surface finish or a mirror surface finish can be obtained. So other one is the corrosion resistance. Suppose you're not maintaining properly the surface roughness, the corrosion, it will lead to corrosion because corrosion is, is rusting, formation of the iron oxide on the surface. So you have to maintain the surface finish properly according to the design or according to the drawing. So wear resistance already we have discussed of the wear between the mating parts. So that's why they have to be maintained as per drawing the particular surface finish of the male and female components in order to avoid wear and tear, in order to avoid friction. And due to friction, there is a wear and tear between the moving parts. So then we have the fatigue resistance. Fatigue resistance, you have to have a sufficient knowledge of the advanced strength of materials because whenever we are going for static loading, static means it is only without without the particular. Suppose you try to take a lathe machine, you are not operating the lathe machine. You are checking the components. That is the acceptance test or any other thing. That is in static condition. But in a dynamic condition, whenever the spindle is moving, you have to see that the cyclic loading will be there. So incremental loading will be there on the moving parts, and you have to maintain it properly. Because if the surface roughness is not maintained properly as per the shaft, then due to the fatigue, it may fail. So you have to have the fatigue resistance. Then we have the load carrying capacity. The lubrication between the main parts is also very important because you have to maintain proper lubrication as per the for a particular material as per the Society of Automotive Engineers. You have to 8640 or any particular 4-digit number. What type of lubricant you have to use? That's also very important. So these are very important parts because very important parameters you can say or properties that will control the surface texture. Or because if you want to reduce the noise, suppose gears metrology will try to discuss. We have one chapter or one unit, and if you want to reduce the noise reduction in the case of gears, so what you have to do? What you have to do, you have to maintain the geometric parameters apart from the dimensional parameters. But apart from that, you have to have a fine finish on the gears. Fine finish on the gears. Like that, we can give a number of examples. So, so what are the irregularities? Suppose you may be knowing that material science concept also. So the irregularities, surface irregularities, you can say, or the irregularities which are beneath a small depth, not on the surface, but below a particular depth on the surface. So all that are the surface irregularities, you can say, and in the form of succession of, or they in the form of hills and valleys, peaks and valleys, we can say. Hill is a peak and valley. Peak, highest peak and lowest valley. So we'll try to discuss that also, because there will be variation and height of different. Suppose you try to see naturally the mountains or the hills, they're not of the same height. The peaks, they are varying between the heights, or the spacing between two hills is also. We'll try to discuss when we have the parameters used in surface finish measurement. There we can explain the drawing also. Just I'm telling the parameters. So peak is a height, hill is a height, peak is a height, and valley is a depth. So there is spacing between the two peaks or two valleys that we have to maintain properly. So if you want to discuss the parameters used in surface finish measurement, that's also a very important topic. So like that, this surface finish specifications are very much important in determining this and monitoring the stability of the manufacturing process. Because suppose why we are telling stability, because if we have vibrations, because we'll try to discuss this also, the factors affecting the surface finish. Suppose you have vibrations in the machine. So whenever you are turning on a lathe, you cannot get surface finish. You'll be getting the tear marks or tool marks on the job. So you have to maintain the sufficient vibrations. So in order to dampen the vibrations, you might have studied in theory of machines, that is dynamics of machinery, that we are using the damping devices or dampers, and that's also very important. And what are the other factors that influence the surface finish? The material of the workpiece. So suppose you are machining in the soft condition, you cannot get good surface finish. That's why whenever you are using any component, whether it's a shaft or a bush, you have to go for the sufficient heat treatment in your particular furnace, the foundry. You can take a classic example of the gudgeon pin, as far as the automobile component, which are using in the gudgeon pin bore of a piston, along with the connecting rod, you assemble that. So without the heat treatment in a carburizing furnace, without getting the proper hardness, 45 to 50 or 50 to 55 HRC, hardness Rockwell scale on the C scale, you cannot get sufficient surface finish. That's why the material of the workpiece is also very important. You should not have any dent marks, or you should not have any cavities or any other surface irregularities. That's very important. And the type of machining. The type of machining also will vary. You can take an example of a shaft, which is manufactured on a lathe machine and a cylindrical grinding machine. On a lathe machine, you cannot get good surface finish, or you can get a good surface finish of a shaft on a cylindrical grinding machine or a centerless grinding machine. So all that, why we are going for the because we want to have precision rather than accuracy, because precision will lie above accuracy, accuracy will lie below precision. So like that, the type of machining is also you have to choose in order to get the sufficient value of surface finish as per the drawing, as per the part described in the drawing. That's also very important. And as it is, you cannot practically make a perfectly smooth finish. That's why the manufacturer in the machine shop or the machinist will try to produce a surface finish. It is as close as possible. So just like we have to have tolerance, cannot exactly manufacture a component exactly to the basic size, 25 mm or 40 mm, as with the shaft or a hole is concerned or a bush is concerned. You will go close to that particular surface finish value. Suppose you want to have a surface finish value of 5 microns. You cannot go that much. You can go close to it only. 4 microns, or if you go for more also you can go, but you have to go for a number of finishings. Just like you take an example of construction, civil construction, the marble. And yeah, so you may be thinking that I have given money to the contractor who is grinding the marble in the raw stage, and you have to get a good surface finish. But you should not do like that in the hall or in any case, because the good surface finish also there will be no grip between the feet and the marble, and you may likely to fall. That's why he will explain you how much passes, how much machining has to be done in order to have a sufficient grip if you want to walk freely inside the bedroom or the hall. That's also part of the surface finish, and you try to be practical. Don't try to argue with the particular the contractor who's trying to grind you, try to give you the granite or any other thing, a granite surface or a particular marble surface. That's very important. Time and again, I'll be telling this example to my students, because it's very dangerous for the people who are living there, who are living in the house. So, however, perfectly smooth finish, already I told you, it's not desirable. You can say, given so many examples, gas, bearings, so they differ from the normal surface roughness value. And suppose you try to take an example of a lubricant, if you want to store in a barrel. Suppose you are going for a superior surface finish. How can you expect to store the oil in a barrel which is of superior surface finish? It will flow. It will flow out. It will flow out. That's very important. So that's very important. And as far as system rigidity is concerned, we have studied in metal cutting and machine tools. The rigidity of the system containing the machine tools is very important. The fixture which is cutting the tool and work is very important, because all these factors will be affecting the surface roughness. Not only that, we have the type, form, material, and sharpness of the cutting tool. If it's a single point cutting tool, that's also very important. If it is a blunt tool, you cannot get good surface finish. That's why you have to go for resharpening of the tool for a 1000, after 1000 pieces or 500 pieces. So that's also very important. So here the cut-in conditions, already we have discussed the machining parameters. They are also known as the cutting conditions. That is the speed, and depth of cut, and the type of coolant use. The lubricant use is also very important. You have to use according to the workpiece material, or according to the Society of Automotive Engineers. We have a handbook, just like a metal handbook or a composite materials handbook or a nanopowders or nanotechnology handbook, or different tool handbooks are there, tool design handbooks are there, or all this lubricants handbooks are there. You can check it out in the net, because all handbooks are not available in the library. Only a few which are useful to the student they might have kept in the library. So all these are very important. So these are very important. And what is the surface? So what is the surface? The surface is nothing but you have to define. Anybody can ask. It is a general biodiversity question that may be asked in the lab, because you may not have any particular experiment. So previously we used to do some mini projects or a BTech project by selecting different materials, because for different materials we can select different machining parameters like feed speed of depth of cut. We used to machine them on a lathe machine, or if you are having a cylindrical grinding machine or a central grinding machine in your particular area, we can check the surface roughness of different materials at different speed and depth of cut, and try to draw a graph and try to analyze that particular what is the effect of the machining parameters on different materials if you want to maintain a good surface finish or maintain an optimum surface finish. So that's also a project that has been done earlier. Or else you can go for other alternate materials also, smart materials or alternate materials apart from the materials, regular materials you try to use in the machine shop, not like mild steel or any other thing cast iron. You can go for a combination of materials also. You can go for alloys also, alloy machining of alloys also, or machining of composites also. Not fibers. You cannot because you have to have a particular machine, a special purpose machine for that. So all that are very important. So what is the surface? It is defined as the boundary between two media. Already I told you as well discussing the peaks, hills and valleys, that is hill height and the deepest valley. So what is the engineering purpose? The surface is a boundary between a workpiece and its environment. That's very important. And there's definitely the environmental impact on the surface. That's why you have to go for surface coating of materials, just like the coating of zinc on tin, or galvanized iron, or the coating of zinc on iron, or any other coating, because we used to have the tin coating on the kinetic Honda piston, or for some particular models we used to have them, because we are protecting them from the corrosion, because corrosion resistance is a very important parameter that will affect the surface finish. So all the properties of the surface will also depend on the function of the part. Already I told you. Functional aspect also is very important, because there should be a good surface finish on the mating parts in order to avoid friction. If there's friction, there's wear and tear. Already we have discussed that. So along with the considerations and constraints of the production environment, we have to see what is the available tools that are with you, what are the available machine tools that are available with you, what are the coolants that are available with you. So, and not only that, you should have the skilled machinist or the skilled operator. And we used to check for a particular batch the surface roughness by using a perthometer. So we'll try to discuss the other names also in the subsequent topics. It's known as perthometer, Perthometer. So that is, we try to check on the standard room. So we can check in any room, but because it's very costly, the probe starting from 50,000, it will not be less than that in the industry. So we will try to check by checking some, but by choosing some parameters like RA, RZ, or some of the parameters. We'll try to discuss that in the parameters used in surface finish measurement. And we have interesting, this topic is very interesting. If you just try to listen carefully, you try to put your heart and soul into the subject, because in the industry we have seen clearly that, so we can give examples. So before going to the surface texture characteristics, though the topic is not there, we want, we'll try to again take a snap of that and try to expose it to you. So these are the particular surface finish or surface structure characteristics. They tend to form a pattern on the surface. So that are very important. So we have the roughness, we have the waviness, and in order to know that the other word for roughness, it is a primary texture, and waviness is the secondary texture. So that's very important, because you may be asking what are the particular primary texture and secondary texture differences also. That's also there as a short answer question. We'll be discussing that also. So, and I want to tell you this this primary texture or the roughness. These are the surface irregularities of small wavelength. Small wavelength. So, and how they are caused? These are result from the these are caused which result from the inherent action of the production process. So the irregularities, the surface texture, there is roughness or primary texture, which will result from the inherent action of the production process. So what are the direct action of the cutting elements of the material? Cutting tool shape. Already I told you, cutting tool shape is of utmost importance in metal cutting. Already we have discussed. The tool feed rate. The tool feed rate is also very important. Machining parameters. And some of the other disturbances. What are the other disturbances? The friction, wear or corrosion. So these are the primary texture, or it's known as the roughness. And you try to see that we'll try to discuss today in the last introduction. We have as far as the geometric irregularities are concerned. So we have this geometric irregularities, order of geometric irregularities. We have 4 types. We'll try to discuss maybe tomorrow, because I want to expose that particular PPT. We here it is not there, but we have different PPTs. We cannot ship as of now. So I want to just give to today. We want to just discuss the introduction part. So you will be knowing what are the topics also. So we have the parameters used in surface finish measurement. We have the instruments which are used for the surface finish measurement that are very important. So we have the evaluation of surface finish, that is the same, the parameters used in surface finish measurement. And we have the this particular direct instruments. So we have that electronic stylus instruments or electrical integrating stylus instruments. The features of this are very important as far as the short answers are concerned. And we have the instruments also like the Tomlinson surface meter and the Taylor-Hobson talisor. We'll be discussing the length and breadth of this particular chapter. So that's why I want to discuss the primary terminology as far as the surface texture characteristics are concerned. So what is waviness? So we'll try to discuss in the geometrical irregularities. Actually, this particular already I told you, first order, second order, third order, and fourth order. Suppose roughness is there, it will come under the irregularities of the third and fourth order. They constitute the micro geometrical errors. Micro. There's a difference between micro and macro. If spelling mistake is there, you try to be careful. In this particular chapter, micro is different, macro is different. Micro is small geometrical errors. So we'll try to discuss later. The aspect ratio, that is L by R, L by H ratio, that is also very important. If it's less than 10, then you can say that it is the roughness. It is the roughness or primary texture. Suppose L by R is greater than 50, it is waviness. So waviness, suppose already I told you, as far as the wavelength is concerned, if you want to compare the wavelength, this waviness is of considerable wavelength. The wavelength is more than that of the roughness. So this the surface irregularities, because it is waviness, the surface irregularities are it's of considerable wavelength and of a periodic character. So this is a secondary texture. Secondary texture, we can say. And while discussing the geometric irregularities, roughness is of third and fourth order, but this waviness is of first and second order irregularities. First and second order irregularities. And while roughness is of micro geometrical errors, this waviness is of macro, large geometric errors, macro. So you may be thinking why this waviness will be occurring. If you try to have another subject very in manufacturing, that is maybe the machine tools exclusively, I would have explained in a more extensive manner, but just an example I give. So suppose you are having the slides or the guideways on which the other parts are mounted. On the cast iron bed, we have the sequence of assembly on the lathe or any other machines. So we have the guideways. So on the guideways we have the slide. So we have to have the alignment should be proper. The alignment or the we'll try to discuss in the 6th unit that one how they affect the particular machining on the material or the workpiece on the job. So just in one single sentence we can say the inaccuracies of the slides, or we can say the guideways, the front and the rear guideways are not parallel to each other, not parallel to each other. So like that, we have to have a constant check on the acceptance test and the alignment test. We want to get a good surface finish also. And the other one is the wear of guides. That what we are talking. Wear of guides. Whatever guides you are using in the assembly of the machine tools, if they are if they worn out, you have to replace them in that particular period of time, or else it will have an effect on the surface finish. It will cause the waviness or the secondary texture. So and you can say already I told you the centers, the headstock center and the tailstock center, the misalignment of centers, they're not in the same plane. That's also we try to have. And as far as the feed is concerned, non-linear feed motion, we can say non-linear feed motion. If the feed is not correct, if you are giving more feed, suppose in the we have one particular example where I was working in the industry. I was doing in the night shift. The production people also will try to finish it off fast, the machinists or the workers, and it's a very important operation because the second last operation I already told you, finish OD time, finish OD turning, where you use a cam for that particular piston, because piston is an elliptical profile. So what they have done, we are using a diamond tool now. So they have increased the feed for a particular batch because they want to sleep or take rest. So I just bought them and just put the tray aside, and in the morning we have, because we have to raise that particular notice that they have increased the feed, and we have readjusted the feed and again gone for the setting and again check the surface roughness in the standard room. Then we are satisfied. Then we have resumed the particular machining process. But what will happen? Suppose it is half an hour before or 1 hour before that particular operator has increased the feed. So there may be a chance of rejection. Why? Because the dimensions may be okay, the geometric tolerances may be okay, but the surface roughness is not good as per drawing, as per the design. So we have checked in the morning, but luckily it was on the higher side. And suppose it is a higher side, we should not pass. Even the quality control inspector should not take the risk of passing. We have given a complaint already. We have raised a particular problem as on the production people. The executive director or the GM production will give a deviation form and try to just pass it on to the packing department. That's how we are taking utmost care as far as this. And you may be knowing the importance of surface texture by this example. So we can give many examples like that. So the the surface profile is also very important. This is the profile that we are showing on the diagram. So this is the waviness. This is a considerable wavelength. That is the secondary texture. This is of roughness. This is of smaller wavelength. That's the primary texture. And all the other parameters we'll discuss. Lay or other parameters which are very important in this particular chapter. That is the other things like I'll try to tell you in a shorter period of time. The sampling length. That's also very important, but you cannot take all the things in one particular period. So slowly we'll be injecting you the concept of the surface texture into your mind. So all these are very important, my dear friends, and the shape of the specified section through the surface. So this is a shape of the specified section through the surface. There's nothing but the profile. So we have the roughness spacing also. You can see roughness spacing, it is parallel to the particular person. And suppose you're seeing the waviness also. It's also parallel, but the waviness is of larger wavelength and roughness is of smaller wavelength. Lay and sampling length will try to come because in the parameters used in surface finish measurement, roughness, waviness, lay is not that you eat, is a very important, is the direction of dominant pattern which is showing in the diagram. So whenever you want to check the surface finish, it should be in a direction perpendicular to the direction of lay, or else you are giving a wrong impression to the production people. Suppose you are checking parallel to the direction of lay and saying that your surface finish is not correct, you are misleading the production people. That's why a quality control has to have a fundamental knowledge of this particular chapter. So that they try to tell in the training, but they won't try to just give them because it's of a shorter period, 30 days or 40 days or whatever it is, 45 days or 50 days. But you should know yourself as a mechanical engineer. You can proudly say that I have learned yourself or from the faculty that you should not check like this. You should be perpendicular to the direction of lay. So all that are the precautions that you have to take while checking the surface finish on the component. So spacing, already I told you spacing, roughness spacing, waviness spacing is average distance between the more prominent irregularities on the profile. So that's very important. And lay also already has shown you, but I will show you there are different types of lay, as per the Indian standard, like parallel, perpendicular, cross lay, multi-directional, circular, radial. That we'll discuss elaborately tomorrow. So these are the elements of surface texture. We can say, or we can say it is the surface texture terminology, like the screw thread terminology or the gear terminology, or any terminology that are for a particular period. The fundamental the fundamental topics just before go deep into the chapter. Okay, so that's very important. And before going to that, I'll try to give some examples. Anybody can ask a question. Now you can free. You are free, and I will give you time before closing this. We have time. And what are the reasons for controlling the surface texture? Already given you an example of the oil, which can be stored in an oil barrel. Because inside the barrel, you should not go for the honing or lapping or the surface finishing processes. You should go for the simply medium surface finish or surface finish value or surface roughness value. So and now you are reading or studying the heat transfer subject now. You'll be having the heat exchanger. You may not have come to that particular point now. Yeah, sir, maybe it's dealing with conduction or convection or radiation. So suppose in the heat exchanger we have tubes now. All of you listen carefully. So this particular heat exchanger tubes transfer heat better when the surfaces are slightly rougher. That you have to keep in mind. When they are finished, the transmission of heat, the transfer of heat is not better, but only when the surfaces are slightly rough, we can say the transfer of heat is better. Heat transfer is better in the heat exchanger tube. So according to your particular application, where you are exchanging this heat, where you are using this heat exchanger tubes, heat exchangers, where you're using this heat exchangers, you can decide whether you have to have a rough finish or a high finish. That's one of the example. And you can take the example of brake drums also. You might have studied in the design of machine elements, the brake drums and clutch plates, because they work better with some degree of surface finish. Optimum, you can say, not a rough or not rough, too rough or too fine finish. So you have to maintain the particular surface finish or the surface texture of the brake drums and clutch plates also. So that we can give a number of examples, and we can say why the primary reasons why we have to control the surface texture or surface finish, because already I told you the example of a shaft and a bush. Because if you want to maintain the good surface finish, or if you're not maintaining the good surface finish, suppose it's a rough surface finish, there's a friction, and due to friction, there's wear and tear between the moving parts. So in order to avoid that, you try to maintain that surface finish of the mating components as per drawing, and try to improve the surface life of the components, and try to improve the service life of the components. That's very important. And not only that, already we have discussed the properties such as fatigue resistance also. You can improve the fatigue resistance by maintaining the proper surface finish or surface roughness. And already we have discussed this also to reduce the initial wear of parts. And also we can say we can have a close dimensional tolerance on the parts. And we can reduce the frictional wear. That's also very important. Or we can reduce the corrosion, because corrosion will be acting or will be spreading at a faster rate when the number of irregularities, surface irregularities are more, just like cracks and crevices. Crevices, the particular word is a very key word, because crack may be hairline crack, or when the crack is depth, at a particular depth, it's known as crevice. Because in the material science chapter, the sir might have discussed that. So that is very important, and the corrosion will spread at a faster rate. And what you have to do, how to control, you have to minimize the depth of irregularities. The depth of irregular, that's what we are saying. The depth of a crack is more, then it's known as a crevice. Beyond a certain parameter value, we can have more than 1 mm, we can say it's a crevice. And what is that? Mirror finish. So what we are telling, it is a mirror finish, just like a good appearance. Or in an industrial concept, or in a design engineering concept, we can say, not industrial engineering also we can say, but as well as the design engineering concept, aesthetics. Suppose you are going for a painting in a house, or if you are going for any other machining of a granite or anything. So the particular surface finish is very important. The surface finish is very important. Good surface finish is important. So that's very important. And you try to see that your machine parts are not rejected by the customer because they go in the scrap due to the not maintaining the surface texture as per drawing. That's also very important. And whenever you want to manufacture a part, you try to manufacture a part with the maximum permissible roughness, because you have to see the economics of the machining also. You have seen in the metal cutting and machine tools, because you have to reduce your machining manufacturing cost. You cannot say to the customer, I have used a diamond tool, or I have used a costly tool in maintaining the surface roughness. It is your duty to maintain the surface roughness as per drawing. So you try to see that also. So what is the efficiency of the manufacturing process? So this efficiency is improved through performance evaluation. So that is also very important. How do you evaluate the surface finish? By choosing optimum machining parameters. Optimum machining parameters. So that's also very important. And lastly, we can have that because there are different ways of quantifying the measured results also. That we'll try to see in the parameters used in surface finish. How you quantify means you have to use the electrical integrating stylus instruments, And before that, you have to know the features of this electrical integrating stylus instruments. What are the parts in that one? Skid shoe or different parts are there. We'll try to discuss. So best book is for this particular chapter is K.L. Narayana. I.C. Gupta also I can follow, but precise he has given in a crispy manner or a good presentation as far as the surface structure chapter is concerned. And we'll try to wind up. And what we have learned today, we'll try to just have a recall. So we have gone for the introduction, and we have seen what are the properties or what are the properties that are influencing the surface texture. And today we have seen the factors affecting the surface finish, like vibrations, material of the workpiece, type of machining, the rigidity of the system, that is the machine or the machine tool or the fixture, what we have seen, the type, the form, material, and the sharpness of the cutting tool. So we have seen that, and what are the cutting conditions or the machining parameters we have seen, how to maintain the parameters in order that they will not disturb the surface finish or try to use for optimum machining parameters, and the type of coolant use. We have also seen the reasons for controlling the surface texture by citing some examples of heat exchanger tubes, gears, brake drums, clutch plates. That's all we have seen, and we have seen some particular the terminology like roughness, small wavelength irregularities, waveness, the greater wavelength irregularities we have seen, and we have also seen. Just I want to just directly told you, but we'll try to discuss the order of geometry irregularities also. It will also be very important, so that you can say what are the first order irregularities, what are the second order irregularities, what are the third order irregularities, and what are the fourth order irregularities. But I directly told you that the roughness, the primary technical, come under the third and fourth order irregularities, and the waviness will come under the first and second order irregularities. Tomorrow I'll be explaining you in deep that particular things, and we'll continue with the elements of surface structure or the surface structure terminology. There are many more we can discuss. So what is the surface? What is the actual surface? Just like the actual size and the basic size. Here also we can say what is the surface, what is the actual surface, what is the nominal surface. All that we'll discuss tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll discuss the types of layers also, not in brief, but we'll try to stretch the topics. We'll try to expand the topics, because today is only the introduction. So you might have known the importance of surface structure by now. And also I'll try to discuss the sampling length also, which is very important, the surface structure the terminology. And I also want to tell you that in short answer questions, already we have discussed some of the important topics like primary texture or roughness today, the waviness or the secondary texture today. And apart from that, I may ask the definitions, or you will ask the differences between the primary texture and secondary texture. You also be prepared for that one, because it's also very important, the differences also. And I already told you the aspect ratio, the height by length ratio, or the L by length, the length means spacing, and height is the height of the peak. So LR by HR is nothing but it is the roughness. For it is less than 50, it is roughness. If it is more than 50, it is waviness. And mind you, I want you people at the fag end of the topics, after maybe in between, after finishing the parameters used in surface finish, we'll be doing some small problems related to the surface finish, which is asking in competitive exams like GATE. GATE is asking or any other competitive exams. So it will be useful to you how to calculate different surface finish parameters or surface roughness parameters, or we can say what are the important parameters which you are using commonly in the industry. We used to use RA and RZ frequently. That we'll try to discuss. So this is very important topic. We try to put to your heart and soul. Already I told you. So we'll be winding now. Already I told you what are the topics we'll discuss. What are the measuring equipments? What are the principles of working? And the construction and working principle, just like comparators, they're very important. The sir might have told some topic you will be discussing afterwards. You should not discuss the personal problems in the class. So just try to, one of you try to come in the chart or WhatsApp chat. So surface texture parameters, what we are discussing, the roughness, average, index height, RA, all this we'll try to discuss in the subsequent classes. Okay, today we'll try to stop now, and thank you for patient hearing. But people are telling the attendance is very poor. Only 60 to 70% are attending. Tomorrow I expect more in number. Don't attend according to the faculty. He is equally competent, and we have to share the topics for this particular chapter because it's online. So I plead to you to attend more. Attendance is taken and sent to the university every Saturday. Okay, thank you for patient listening.